Alright, howdy y'all, TechnoBob here. So today is going to be more of a complex video compared to the ones that you see on my channel. I'm going to go ahead and explain to you how you could go ahead and create and run your own extension on VS Code. So this is going to be using YoCode. So I'm just going to go ahead and pop on the screen everything that you're going to need. So you could pull up these two websites. These are the ones that help me. You could also pull up a couple of videos, but the thing is called YoCode, npm JS, and then you could also find it in VS Code. VS is VS Code's website. So before going ahead and starting this project, I would recommend opening up a new folder so that you could create your extension within this folder. So here I'm gonna call it my. Let me go ahead and just call it my extension. Didn't mean to open that. So So now that I have that opened up, I could go ahead and open up my VS Code, and then we could go ahead and open up that folder so that anything we create is within that folder. So here, the funny thing is, you're not gonna want to open up anything. So first, let me go ahead and open up my terminal. Alright, so once you open up your terminal, you're gonna go ahead and use the terminal to pretty much, if you haven't downloaded YoCode, you could go ahead and download YoCode using your terminal. And then once you have YoCode downloaded, what you could go ahead and do is just type YoCode in here. And then once you type that, it's gonna go ahead and run it. And then in here you could go ahead and mess around with these. Usually what I would recommend is just keep the basics. So here I'm gonna just use TypeScript, and then here name my extension. I'm gonna name it my ext. How do I want to identify my extension? So the first name is just for your personal, just whatever you will see. But here your identifier is going to be how it's registered in the computer and how you could find it. I like naming it the same way. What is the description? You don't have to fill this out. Initial Git repository, no. So let's do unbundle. And then npm, and then you don't have to do anything. It's gonna go ahead and do it on itself, and it's gonna create all these folders and all these files in within that folder that you opened up. That's why it's really important that you create that folder at the beginning. If not, your folders are gonna be all over the place. And then now it should be done. So let me go ahead and open up that same folder. And then here, this is everything that I created. These are all the folders. The main important ones that you're gonna need is this. Let me find. It's gonna be this extension and this package JSON one. So here, what you're gonna want to do is, luckily a lot of it is pre-labeled, so you could go ahead and just follow what it says. But basically the basics of it is that anything you create, you got to put within here. Same thing as any other language. Here you put your import. This is just TypeScript. And then so here is where your actual command is, or your actual extension is going to be included. So here the variable is going to be called disposable, and then or it's pre-called disposable. You can name it anything you want. I just have it as my extent hello world, and then I'm just gonna go ahead and name it something else just to show that you could change this and add whatever extension you wanted to do. So here I have it as show information. We could change this more to show error. Let me see if it directs me. And then in here, I'm gonna say, please contact 1-800 fake number, or 1-800 fake. So here I'm gonna just name it my extension fake, and then at the bottom it's important that whatever extension you're creating, you push it at the end. And then over here, once you create that, you have to come over here to the package JSON, and it's very important that you look for here where it says commands, and then so this is going to be all the commands that you're creating within your extension. So here, my hello world, my ext, my the command, it's very important that it's exactly the same that this is written. So that's why I'm just going to be a bit lazy and just copy and paste it just to make sure it's exactly the same. So that has to be the same, and then title is just going to be whatever you want to name it. So whenever you're looking for your once you have your extension downloaded and you want to look for it, this is what it's going to be called. So I'm gonna call hack Microsoft. So once we have that, just want to make sure we save everything. All right. So also, I forgot to mention the biggest important parts of before running this is you have to make sure you have npm the npm extension downloaded, as well as you have where is it, the any of these could work. I just have multiple just to make sure it all works well for any type of projects that I'm creating. But you also want to make sure you have Node.js installed. Big thing with Node.js, it's gonna say are you that it's not trustworthy. That just means it's not verified like the other ones. Same with npm, but they a lot of people use them, so feel free to use those. But once you have those installed, you could go ahead and you this would be basically all of it for for creating your extension. But if you wanted to test out your extension, before you download it onto your computer, and like any mistakes are basically vulnerable and you're just downloading a bunch of extensions on your computer, something that you could do is just do control command P, or wait and then in here we could do debug, or not command D. We could go in here and then put debug, and then we could do start debugging. And then once we run this debug, it's important to run it here, VS Code extension development. So whenever we do this, it's gonna open up a second window with our VS Code, and then this one is gonna have our extension. This is gonna be another window of VS Code that you're gonna open up. It's gonna be basically a VS Code within your VS Code that's running the extension that you created in this VS Code onto this VS Code, so that you could test for any errors that you may have within your extension. So once we have that, we could do the same thing, and then in here we could go ahead and search for that command, hack Microsoft. Here we see our extension, and then once we select that extension, down here we have our error, and then if we look within our error, it should have that number that or the 1-800. Let me see if we could find it. Yeah, but here you're gonna have your error. It's just because I chose to give it an error, that's why it's giving me an error. But if you print a message, it's gonna go ahead and print that message. But basically That's how you would create your extension within VS Code, and then how you could run your extension within VS Code using this debugger. And all of this is using Yo Code, and it could be a really useful tool whenever creating or wanting to create extensions within your VS Code to kind of improve the way that you code. So yeah, I hope y'all enjoyed this video and y'all found it useful as well as like a little bit interesting. But yeah, I hope y'all enjoyed. Thank you so much.